Hello everyone, my name is Angel AA999. In this podcast, I'm more so want to give credit where credit is due. In general, no one would know anything if it weren't for the assistance and help of other people. And maybe it's the, educated or educator aspect of myself that insists that some sort of citation be given. I mean, even when I give readings, I always want to give definitions of cards just so that way, it bolsters or backs up what I am trying to say. In this case, I feel the same way in general overall. If I could actually say, hey, I'm a card reader, I learned from da 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 da, and just list off a slew of sources, I'd probably be a happy camper. But frankly, it's not really realistic. And this podcast kind of acts like a citation, so to speak. And maybe you can find some sources that will help you in your learning process. So, interestingly enough, divination is kind of one of those skills, particularly cartomantic divination, divining the future through cards. That is more so of a, true divination is more of a cultural aspect. And with that being said, divination is not a religion. So it's not something that you can sign up for and just attend every Sunday, or every period of time if you're not, Christian and go to church every Sunday. But it really is a part of one's culture. It's a reflection of one's heritage and culture. So, on one hand, people are actually part of the circle. They were born in the circle. They already, their grandparents taught them the art of divination, or their mother taught them the art of divination, or they were born in a family of Wiccans, or something like that, which, I would ask kindly if no one harassed me about that last one, but I'm just saying. In my case, I come from a family of religious nuts. Okay, maybe that's a little mean, but I come from a family who believe themselves to be very godly oriented. It's a very interesting paradoxical aspect. So, at the same time, my family is very, very private, and we don't like outsiders being involved in our personal lives, even our outer lives, really. So, by default on my end, I am isolated from any sense of culture. I hardly even know what the, in music is. I don't usually watch television that much. I'm only watching movies because my boyfriend takes me out all the time. So, I'm culturally isolated to a degree. My only one way to learn things is literally through books and internet sources, and through the kindness of others who, care to engage me in my own particular and interesting interest. So, I understand that divination is both a part of culture and heritage, and I also understand that it's for those like me who are kind of like on the outside. It literally is engaging in it. The opportunity to engage in it is literally an invitation. I also understand that in my participating, I actually have something to pass down to my kids, a skill to pass down. Granted, then later on, I'm probably going to have, by the way, I don't have children. I'm just saying hypothetically, I would have a skill to pass down to them. But then I'd be stuck in the paradox of having to figure out whether or not I should let them go to church or not, and all this other crazy stuff. But I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So, with that being said, I'll start with the online aspects. When I first learned divination, actually, I got into it whenever, there was some home stuff going on, and, I think I mentioned at one point that I practiced automatic writing at one point, and I wasn't too crazy about it. So I felt like, okay, how about I try to talk to God through cards? Naive, beautiful little child I was. And I really preferred tarot, but, everyone in the South says, hey, tarot is evil, tarot is bad, don't do tarot. And so I said, okay, if I can't use tarot, let me use playing cards. I mean, the only difference is 2 freaking cards. Why not? Well, not 2 cards, 4 cards actually. 4 freaking cards, so why not? Just use the minor arcana. And so I started doing that, and then I registered onto Kapherus, Kapherus', forum, where I learned how to learn a lot more about, the whole divination process, meaning of the cards, playing cards, in this case, playing card cartomancy. So I learned quite a bit from him, actually. So a lot of what I know now, I probably wouldn't be anywhere probably without him, without his, guidance. Not just in his interpretation of the cards, but also pointing me into the direction of different sources that I can learn from. Leo Martello's It's Written in the Cards is a great book, is a great source. And then there is Regina Russell's Card Reader's Handbook. And then there's also what's her name? That's why I'm having a moment trying to remember her. Having a problem trying to remember her name. It's not established exactly the author of the website, but I have a hint or have a suspicion that it might be someone named Don Jackson. I could be completely incorrect on this. Essentially, it's whoever created the Hedge Witchery site that is, no one really ever goes, the site itself is shut down. So you have to literally go onto the Wayback Machine or whatever archiving site in order to see the information. I believe there's also a PDF floating around of her website as well, but I digress. From playing cards, I learned how to read Lenormand cards. And that one I learned from Lord Ewan and Andy Boroveshingra. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Forgive me if not. He has an awesome blog, and I will be purchasing his Kindle on the meanings of the Lenormand cards. So my point is, I learned from a lot of different people. I have a culmination of experiences that kind of put me on this path, and I'm quite grateful for it. Actually. So that was all I really wanted to say in this podcast. If you have any questions, shoot me a private message on YouTube, and be curious. I'll be posting another video or podcast soon.